We'll start out. I mean, this first post is so fitting that Tim Pool would be spreading Russian propaganda. You start noticing some things that aren't quite right. Okay, so look at the wheels here. What's with the lines on the wheels? And why is this wheel blending into the door back here? What exactly is happening? And then the grip tape, the vans, there's all this weird pixelation and artifacting. The classic, the calling card of an AI image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tim Pool is faking how high he can ollie, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I think, Tim, if you were at least like a little bit more reasonable about it too, like, then this would have been believable. But you had to overshoot it. You had to make it preposterous. I mean, it's obvious that you cannot ollie this high. This is just insane. Where are his eyes? Who made this photo for you, Tim? Did you make this? Are you stupid enough to have made this? With the goop and the webbing all over your hands and your eyeballs fucking erased? I mean, whoever posted this must not have had eyeballs. Perfect. Dude, you could so easily fake this image without even using AI. Take a video of you ollieing, maybe use a ramp to ollie over, and then take the ramp out, and then just with the tripod in the same spot, then you can just crop out the ramp. Like, there's so many ways of going about this that don't use AI that would make it much more difficult to prove that you faked this. But you're sitting here doing the laziest shit ever, which is just using like some kind of AI Photoshop plugin or something to lift yourself up. Like, even if you didn't fake this, posting a image of you ollieing over a miniature trash can inside of your private skate park would not have been cool anyway. Nobody would be into this. And what kind of trash can even is this? This looks like in Fairly Odd Parents where Cosmo and Wanda, they get like transformed into a slice of cake or something, and Wanda's pink and Cosmo is green. Like, you could still tell it's them. This is like if you got transformed into a trash can and it still had your proportions. We'd be looking around like, oh, I think that's Tim Pool pretending to be a trash can again. Tim Pool using his magic spell to turn himself into a bin. You could even say that the resemblance is uncanny. Perfect. Look how cute Tim Pool is. Look how sweet he is. I genuinely think like he is a total cutie pie. He'd be nice. I'd bake him in a cake.
Hello there, Lemonhead. What do you said? Sweet sugar beauty. You are looking like a cutie. Sweet sugar beauty.
These jeans, the fade on them is bussing respectfully. He looks like he just went indoor rock climbing. We'll lay off Tim Pool for a second. Let's get back to, we'll look at some additional content here.
I don't know if you're watching the Olympics right now. I am, and I'm not into it. Instead of doing all that, we're going to do man versus girl, women versus boys. Johnny Haynes versus Julia Brooker.
Okay, let's just understand what we're looking at here. These guys are playing a game of skate, and Richie Jackson, in his infinite wisdom, opens this up by saying, are you guys watching the Olympics? I am, and I'm not into it. I am not into a contest format on a full-size skate park, watching the literal best contest skateboarders in the world, Yuto Horigome, face off versus Nigel Houston for the most prestigious accolade in contest skateboarding once every 4 years, an Olympic gold medal. No, it doesn't do it for me. What I am here to offer you is the same YouTube video that has been posted on the platform for the past 15 years, flat ground game of skate.
Who the fuck is that guy?
You think that you're gonna like catch the interest of like TikTok teenagers by showing this, woman who's dressed like she just, you're standing behind her in line at a grocery store? The Berrics has been doing Battle at the Berrics. What are we on? 16, 17? I don't even fucking know. We've had so many of these done. Like, it is such a fucking incredibly played out concept. Playing a game of skate on flat. Even Santa Cruz Skateboards is aware that just putting a game of skate out there with no like fucking curveball or gimmick is insane. So they had their skaters spraying each other with water guns or something.
Props and challenges. 7 games we've ever done themed. That is a rebate challenge.
But at least they understood. It's like, yeah, you can't expect people to just watch a game of skate for no fucking reason, especially if we don't know who they are. Battle of the Berrics worked because you know who all of those people are. You know them from the skateboarding industry. Oh my God, that's Sean Malta. So, you know, you have knowledge of these people. So when you see them taken outside of isolation and put head to head in an environment, it's like, oh wow, let's see how these two people fare against one another. That makes sense. This doesn't make any sense. From Tim Pool, somebody who has built this media empire, I would say, you know, on his own, but it seems like he may have had a little bit of foreign assistance there, as it turns out. You would think that he would understand what would make a piece of content interesting. But stuff like this just is such a blatant example. These people have no fucking idea. Like, yeah. I mean, who cares? Sidebar. What the fuck happened to Richie Jackson? Like, he looks like a libertarian NFT collecting X.com profile picture. If you look up photos of Richie Jackson, okay, there's a necklace there. This one's like a brooch, some kind of black pearl. I don't know what that is, some opal. You look at him now, he's got a cross on him, and it's like Richie Jackson pretending as though he's like a Christian or, you know, some sort of God-fearing man. No, he fucking isn't. Anybody that's been watching Richie Jackson knows he's been more of a r/atheism type of hyper-rationalization, logical, annoying guy. He is the last dude that I would expect to be wearing a cross.
He only believe in Jesus. Why you got a Jesus, please?
And if it comes out, you know, that Richie Jackson is actually, you know, he's been Christian or Catholic this whole time, then I will take it back. But dude, like, you do not have that fucking vibe at all. Either way, it's very convenient that he's just started wearing this beautiful piece now, because even like 9 months ago, when Matters Apps released that Red Bull documentary thing with him, he wasn't even wearing one then. So this is a very, very recent development. Richie Jackson just fucking stresses me out. And also, in my opinion, if you're gonna run a kid's YouTube channel, like, don't hire a guy who just looks puffy and red. He looks like he eats only expensive cheeses and like drinks sparkling water. If I were a kid, I would not want to look at Richie Jackson at all. He's like a freaky uncle. What the fuck would you think if you were a parent and you walk into your child's bedroom and Richie Jackson is on their iPad? I would have a fucking fit. I would be pissed. No more iPad. The iPad's going in the safe. So it's time for the money shot, or should I say cream pie. I don't even actually think that Tim Pool is creepy. I don't think that Richie Jackson is creepy. But the vibe of the Boonies is creepy as fuck, because it all feels like these old head, like millennial, you know, boomer type motherfuckers who are trying to have this like, sorry, I'm random, quirky girl sense of humor that will then play out into these like staged pranks. And the vibe of it is awful. Like, it really, the Boonies presentation is like, hey kids, come check out my van. I have free candy. There's like an arcade machine and sugary cereals and stuff inside the compound. There's like a tour video where you can see that. Really sinister, creepy fucking vibe. And I don't think they realize it. I don't think it's what they're trying to do. Genuinely, I don't. I think that they actually think this stuff is silly, random, and funny. It makes it so much less funny that this is like being done by this right-wing like grifter podcast dude that's taking money from Russian people. It feels like they're even sort of aware of that, and then it's leading them to overcompensate for like how sketchy this whole operation is. So they're trying to be like extra innocent and silly and quirky. None of this stuff would be even remotely funny anyway, but it just makes it way fucking worse.
Hold on.
All right, here we have a 3-second reel of Nigel Jones, who for some reason, I've never seen it spelled like this. It's spelled with one G up here, and then in his username he has two G's, which I don't even know if I can say that username out loud. He's verified. Oh yes. Oddly satisfying clip. Am I right, team? Nigel at the Boonies. Pretty obvious that something like this, I think, would be coming. Nigel, you know, I wasn't very familiar with this dude until the whole Braille thing, like, exploded. I've never paid attention to the Braille universe, the Braille sphere. I didn't care. I don't know who fucking Chris McNugget is. I did not know who Nigel Jones was. I know who Ricky Glazer is because he forced his way into my life. Other than that, I don't know any of these motherfuckers. So when Braille was imploding, I went to Nigel's channel and he was talking all this shit about how he was so mistreated and Aaron Cairo was so awful to him and how the employees aren't shown any respect, blah, 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 blah. And he also said, he kept saying this thing that pissed me off. He kept saying, oh man, I have all of these receipts on you, Aaron. Don't make me expose you.
There's so much I could say.
If you knew the amount of lies that came out of this, I'm gonna keep it a buck all the time, every day, all day. I should just unleash everything because I got receipts for days on everything. I got texts, I got call logs, I got videos. But I'm gonna leave it at that.
What are you talking? We're in the middle of Aaron Cairo exposed. He's getting like 90% dislikes on his videos where he's clearly just lying. He is more vulnerable now than he has ever been. It's time to cut the fucking head off of this monster. What are you talking about that you have receipts that you're not showing people? As an audience member, if we are in the process of filming an expose video, if that's what we're doing, right? I do not want to hear that you have information that you're holding back because of some like moral principle that you maybe have or some shit. Like, don't even tell me. If you say you have stuff, because I'm just going to be frustrated. You're just fucking edging me right now. I'm ready to bust. I want to see Aaron Cairo get put 6 feet into the fucking dirt. And you're telling me you have information that you will not be sharing right now. Don't even fucking do it. You know, and I also think it just, to me, it makes it seem like you don't even have that info, because if you did, why wouldn't you fucking share it? You should just share it. Another thing, I'm going to be zagging hard on all of this Braille stuff because, you know, everybody's already talked about how awful Aaron Cairo is. And I'm going to, I think, go at it a little bit of different angle and look at the way that some of these, you know, skateboard YouTuber cockroaches operate. You know, these people that are willing to be subservient underlings to Aaron Cairo, who works for a fucking human trafficking cult that covers up fucking sexual assault and uses pretty much slave labor in their day-to-day operations. Like, if you're willing to work under somebody like that, these guys know what the fuck is going on. You know, they're willing to completely freeze and pause any moral compass or principles that they might have. But as soon as they're not getting paid by this dude anymore, like Nigel Jones is, oh, now all of a sudden, you know, he fucking has something to say. I'm sorry, I do not take you seriously. I don't take any complaint that you have seriously if you're willing to keep your mouth shut about all this shit as long as you're getting paid. I don't respect that at all. You know, at least somebody like Ricky Glazer is consistently spineless. At least Ricky will not talk shit at all on Aaron Cairo. Now, he never really talked shit on him at any point. He kept it completely apolitical. You could call Ricky a coward. You could say that he is devoid of any morals whatsoever. I don't give a shit. Call him whatever you want. At least Ricky is consistent. I don't respect Nigel Jones, who gets all upset and angry once he stops getting paid. If you had a problem with Aaron, if you had a problem with the way that you were being treated and other employees were being treated, you should have quit that shit when you had the chance.
Almost 10 years of my life dedicated to this, and then it just abruptly stops because one man decides to...
Excuse me, are y'all with the cult?
We're not a cult.
But now once you get fired, now you're pissed off. Okay, buddy. So obviously now somebody like Nigel is going to go and slink over to another person similar to Aaron Cairo who's seeking to utilize skateboarding for extremely nefarious reasons. Tim Pool, wants to turn this into a arm of his right-wing media empire that he has going. Aaron Cairo's funneling it into Scientology. These guys don't give a fuck as long as they're getting paid. I don't know if, Nigel's getting paid to be here financially or if he's just there for the exposure. I have no fucking idea, but he is there. And I think that it is undeniably ironic that he would go and crawl over to somebody like Tim Pool and collab with him right after this entire Aaron Cairo thing, has been exposed, and he had these self-righteous vlogs that he was putting out. All right, buddy. Cool. Also, by the way, Nigel Jones sells merch that just says his name on it. And it's a squid. It says his name on it with a squid. Tim Pool doing a Smith grind. This is the first time in recorded history that we can confirm Tim Pool has made contact with Box. Beanie, it's on. Soft bluish green t-shirt. Tim likes these tight-fitting shirts. I don't know if you should keep running these, Tim. They kind of expose your physique for being suboptimal. You talk a lot of shit on these guys that don't exercise. They don't do self-improvement.
Male feminists, low T, weak men lacking passion and ambition, men who don't get up, don't exercise, don't improve themselves.
You're kind of fat. You're a little fat, Tim. I don't think you should be shaming anybody for not exercising. Ooh, the Vans Kyle Walkers with the laces tucked in. With the laces tucked in. Now, out of all of the insane shit that Tim Pool has said on video that demonstrates the very obvious fact that he does not understand skateboarding culture in the slightest, he has absolutely no clue about any of it. He is out of the loop. There has never been a more damning and obvious indication that is the case. There has been no greater piece of evidence than this right here, that he tucks his fucking shoelaces into his Kyle Walkers. And you notice that he does a thing with his jeans where he tucks it into the back of the tongue as to display this fashion choice that he has made. He's got Tactics grip tape on his skateboard. The reason that this is important, right, is because, Tactics is a CCS type mega online skate warehouse. And this is who is competing with, your local skate shop. Not an ethical choice to be making. You should be supporting locally owned businesses and buying grip tape from skate shops. Tim, you're a lazy little fat boy who sits at home on his computer and you're like, I want skateboarding Amazon. And so you order from fucking Tactics. His vibe, by the way, this is what Tim Pool is trying to sell to you. He's trying to sell to you small town Boonies. That's what his shit is called. It's called the Boonies headquarters. And this dude is ordering his grip tape from tactics.com. Go to a fucking skate shop. You don't even have to go to a skate shop, Tim. At least order from a skate shop online. Skate shops do online. It probably will barely cost you any more fucking money than it would to order from Tactics. And the fact that you do shit like this and you order grip tape specifically that has a logo on it that proves what a fucking moron you are. You might as well get it tattooed on your fucking forehead. This is the equivalent of being like, yeah, I'm Tim Pool, and I'm sick of the way that the government is interfering and poisoning our agriculture, and tomatoes just do not taste good anymore. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start my own farm. And then the first thing that he does is he orders his fucking soil and his fertilizer from Amazon. That's what you're doing with this, Tim. That is exactly what you're fucking doing. You need to go down to the local tractor store and buy your fucking fertilizer there from the guy who's been doing it for 1,000 years, the vampire who's selling soil down the street. You need to go buy your fertilizer from him. Please do not fucking order any of this shit from Amazon. Dumbass. Also, please. Smith grind. You're posting it. Nobody would even care about this trick if you did. No one would look twice at this if you were at a skate park and you did a Smith grind on a box, a frontside Smith grind on a box. We wouldn't care. We wouldn't pay. Nobody would look. It's like it never fucking happened. But you were hard posting yourself doing this on Instagram. At least not even a video. Like, he actually hired somebody with it to have a DSLR to take photos of him skating a box inside his warehouse. And then this guy is like, oh yeah, this one looks pretty good. This is the best take that we had of Tim doing the Smith grind. And then I'm going to color correct it, and I'm going to add a bunch of grain on top of it too. And then the image will be perfect. It'll be ready to be shipped out onto the Boonies HQ page for 500 likes. Yes. Nice post, Tim. I rate this post a 9 out of 10. One more thing. If we're really going to scrutinize this fucking image, and I plan to, why are you wearing Vans, Tim? You should not be supporting Vans. You remember? Because, you know, there's clips of you talking about how much you hate identity politics, and specifically how some guy can just put on a dress and then they get a bunch of free shit. You hate that. You think it's bullshit. You think it's a cancer that needs to be eradicated from the industry, right? You think that that's the worst thing ever. You know what Vans does? Ironically, you can buy these at your local Tactics dealership. Oh wait, there is no local Tactics dealership. You can buy these online. These are the Cher Strawberry. These are Cher Strawberry Vans Skate High Decon shoes. This is a colorway that was given to Cher Strawberry for exactly the reasons that you don't like, Tim. This is the company that you're endorsing. You don't even know. There's zero consumer ethics and responsibility with it. You're ordering you're buying Vans shoes, ordering your grip tape from Tactics. I suggest you go to, I don't know, like maybe S or something. S seems like a pretty manly brand that would never do something like this. And you don't even need to tuck the laces. You know they make a fucking Kyle Walker shoe that doesn't have laces. Tim, you should wear, these would be perfect for you. You do have that leprechaun style heel clicking kickflip. Fuck it, one more thing. I don't even think he's actually in Smith. You zoom in, it looks like he's not even locked in. Caption is, would you like chips with this dip? More like, would you like chips with this lip? Perfect. Okay, here we go. This is, guys, you're gonna fucking love this. You are going to love this shit. Promise. Pinky promise. Oh my fucking gods, mate. Do I even need to say where you've seen this before? You know what... Oh, front Smiths. We love front Smiths at the Boonies. Wow, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. Front Smith at the Boonies. Why, this random guy. Oh, no, he's not random. He's Sam Operchuk. Yes, this is Sam Operchuk. You know him. You love him. And he's doing a front Smith grind Trickipedia spoof on an iPhone posted to an Instagram reel. Or is this isn't even an iPhone. This might be some sort of GoPro on a stick. Wow! This is what we needed, guys. The Berrics retired this concept so fucking long ago. I think that they're hoping that people will forget that Trickipedia has already been done in a significantly more impressive way by more talented skateboarders with a higher production value at a time where it was actually a new idea and culturally relevant. All the Boonies is fucking doing is scouring the corpse of the Berrics for any possible content morsel that they can get from it. These fucking guys are, look at this shit. I mean, a front Smith grind on a flat bar? Who fucking cares? Who cares? How good? No one cares about this. I promise you, nobody cares. Whoa. Oh my God. To 50 and with a little tail grab. Wow, wow, wow. So is he not going to do it on a handrail? No? Woo! Let's go. Oh my God, Richie fucking Jackson was recording all this. They even stole the logo and made that worse. Like the one on the left, much classier. The Berrics is so much classier. I mean, that on the right, that is abysmal work. Lazy. You guys are not going to believe this. You guys are going to have your fucking minds blown when you see this. As if the blatant Berrics theft couldn't get any worse. They have this segment called Out of the Gage. So basically they walk up to somebody doing something. Tim Pool is here emailing Russian people, negotiating his next 8,000 view video for $1 trillion. Okay. And then they say, oh, Tim, you have to come do a trick.
Copyright.
We'll come back.
First try.
Oh, all right. What am I doing?
What trick are you gonna do?
I don't know.
And so, but in this version of First Try Friday, it doesn't even have to be Friday, which makes it much less special. He gets to pick what trick he does. You have to tell the skater what trick they do, because if Sean Malto steps out the Lambo and they're like, Sean Malto, pick any trick you want, Sean Malto's gonna fucking early grab the 5-stair. Okay, that's the problem with this. You can't have these people picking their own tricks. That's like half of the reason that the fucking idea was even interesting or worked in the first place. So they're taking these ideas that are ancient. They're so fucking old, expired, moldy, dead. They're so done. They're so fucking ABD. They're taking these ideas and making them worse in every conceivable way, even just with the basic blueprint of what made the concept a success. They can't even remember all of those details.
All right, we'll try something.
We have these random old nobody cares about butchering Berrics First Try Friday. First Try Friday.
I'm gonna line this first try. Okay.
Oh, you guys made a little animation. Out the gate, more like out of idea. This pissed me off the most. You guys made a little animation with fucking sound effects like it was your idea. No, this is a First Try Friday. It already exists. I don't think so, Tim. I don't think so. You didn't do it. First Try Fridays? I mean, I guess it's only a matter of time till we get battle at the Boonies. This is the order of operations this guy went in. He said, spend millions of dollars building skate park, come up with ideas later. He built all this shit and they're like, and then they're sitting around in this conference room like, what do we do? First Try Friday? Trickipedia? No, we'll call it Trictionary. Tim Pool was like, okay, I'm going to buy a restaurant space. I'm going to hire a staff. And then we're just going to open. We're just going to fucking open. So then Richie Jackson is running around there frantically and he's serving fucking microwave tortillas with American cheese on it to customers.
You can win a foot race against anyone on the Boonies.
That's such a, arrogant claim.
89 likes. 89, no, how well do you know your team? How well do they know their team? You should be worried about how well we know the team. We don't know these people. Who's this?
It's comedy.
The guy looks like a cross between Adam 22 and Gary V.
I don't wanna be a dreamer. I wanna be the dream.
What? Oh my God! No fucking way. So this is a Trictionary.
Someday I'll know what that
Literally, I mean, just lit up exactly like the Berrics.
means.
Doing a tray flip, but with this tray flip, you don't have to do the hard part about the tray flip. The really hard part about the tray flip, I remember this when I was like 10 years old and I was trying to tray flip. I wasn't heavy enough. I couldn't fucking do it. My skateboard was too big and I was too small. I could flip the tray, but I couldn't jump in the air for long enough and land on top of it because the rotation, the flip would just take too long. I wasn't strong enough. But here, Richie Jackson, he has solved that problem. If only I knew about this trick when I was little. He solved the problem of needing to jump in the air because, the human life cycle is, it goes through a predictable pattern. You start as a kid, you're weak, you're shitty, and you grow into your teens, your adulthood, you start becoming stronger, then you reach your prime, and then you start dipping slowly, you start deteriorating until all of a sudden you're Richie Jackson, and I don't know, you look 55 years old. I actually had to Google it. He's 38. Richie Jackson is 38. You look literally like you're in your 50s, Richie. What the fuck are you doing? Are you addicted to Coca-Cola? And you are now at a point that I was at when I was 9 years old where you can no longer jump high enough in the air to be able to do a tray flip. And that's all that I'm thinking about when I watch this Richie. I'm not thinking, wow, Richie Jackson is so creative. I'm thinking Richie Jackson is so fat now that he can't actually tray flip anymore. Wow! Whoa, cool.
It takes a
Fakey.
takes a long time to see.
Wow. I like the little skip that he does between. Check it out. That's so athletic. Wow. Again, 3 angles of that. Seeing Richie Jackson doing this stuff, I said it reminds me of like this kind of shit. When you see like a fat guy who's surprisingly limber. Put this guy in the Boonies, light him up the way that you lit up Richie Jackson. And this might actually get, how many likes did this get? Oh yeah, this guy got 309 likes. This guy got 500 likes. If you want to boost that engagement, guys, hire this dude, please. This might be his last trick. This might be the only trick that Richie Jackson knows how to do. Wow! What? No way. That's not even a real manual pad. That's a fucking bank. That's a bank to flat into bank where he was desperate. He's like, oh my God, I really need to make this. See that eager hop he did? And he's like, oh my fucking God, I'm Richie Jackson. I can't believe I've done this. Fucking incredible. Richie Jackson, you really got worse. In case anybody thinks I'm being like mean or unnecessarily ageist, I think I'm well within my rights to criticize Richie Jackson for his lifestyle choices, because Ryan DeCenzo is the same age and he is doing some of the best skateboarding that he ever has. And Richie Jackson is on podcasts still self-identifying as a professional skateboarder. With this Boonies stuff, Tim is not only chasing, but he is literally spoofing, replicating a golden era of skateboarding content that does not exist anymore. That stuff is tied to an era we don't live in. It worked then. I think you should let it be, but you need to move on. You need to do something different. Maybe when the Berrics was dropping all of this content like Trickipedia, First Try Fridays, all this stuff, maybe that reminds Tim of a time in his life where things weren't so shitty. Yeah, Tim might be making a ton of money doing what he's doing, selling his soul on the internet, grifting his fucking ass off to the point where he doesn't even know what he believes in anymore. Like, I think back in the day, maybe he misses a time where he didn't exist in his own personal hell. I don't think that Tim wants to lure kids in here with the candy, with these weird fucking old head boomer skits. I don't think that that's what any of this is about. I think this is about attempting to nurture his inner child. He wants to get back to a time where he actually felt good. He was able to feel genuine joy. There was some innocence in an aspect of his life that wasn't polluted and poisoned by politics.